Hello and welcome to this tutorial series in which I will be teaching programming in Python for beginners. The aim of this series is to teach people who have never done programming before the concepts behind it so they can pick it up and hopefully apply it to different languages if they need to. Now, as we progress, we'll be writing more complex programs, so if you already know how to program and want to pick up Python, you might want to tune in to one of the future episodes of this tutorial series. So we're going to first download Python, so you're going to need an internet browser. And we're going to go to python.org and now go to downloads, choose either Windows or Mac OS depending on whether you're running a Mac or a Windows computer, and we're going to be using Python version 3.4.1. Don't worry if you've not got this exact specific version, just make sure you've got Python version 3. Version 2 has slightly different technicalities to the language, so make sure you've got Python 3. Download that, install it, and then pause the video and come back to it when you're done. Okay, with Python installed, we want to run the idle. It's called Python idle. And I'll search for Python. Okay, now here it is, IDLE or idle. It stands for Integrated Development Environment. This is for developing your computer programs. So I know this is my Python 3 installed, so I'll click on this, and here we go, Python 3.4.1, and this is the Python shell. This is where Python shows you the outputs of your programs. You don't actually write your programs in the shell. What we do is we go on File, New File, and we type our programs here. Now all programs on a computer have to have been programmed by some programmer somewhere, so Python itself is a program, Internet Explorer is a program, the file browser is a program, so someone's had to actually create these programs to be able to run on the computer, and that's what we'll be doing, writing our own programs. So we produce a sequence of steps telling the computer what to do. In this first lesson I'll be teaching you how to do outputs from the program. Now, what we want to do is type in this window here, and I'll tell you what you want to type. Type print, open bracket, then quotation mark, hello world, then another quotation mark and close bracket. Okay, so here we just have one line of code, and this tells the computer to output the phrase hello world. To run this program, it should be able to run because we've got a command that the computer can follow. Click run and run module. This will execute the program here, and the computer will carry it out. It will tell you that you need to save the program, so let's just save that in my documents, and I'll call it lesson 1 outputs. Click save, and now it's run the program. Okay, now I told you earlier that Python shell shows the outputs of the program, and you can see that we wanted to print this phrase hello world, and in the shell hello world has appeared, so it's successfully run, and that's the end of the program because that's all it's got to do, and then it ends there. Now if we look at this line itself, you'll see that print is purple coloured. That means it's a command that Python understands and knows what to do. So if it sees print, it knows it's going to output whatever's in the brackets in the Python shell. So we need open and close brackets, which is just part of the language, so Python understands what you want it to do. And then we're outputting this text hello world, so we've got to put that in quotation marks so that it knows it's text. This is just one of the quirks of programming. You'll get used to it. And moving on, you'll see that we can have multiple lines of code. So let's add another line, and we can do another print command. And this time we'll say hello in the first print command, and then world in the second print command. Notice the syntax, open and close brackets, and we've got the text within quotation marks. Now if I run the module, it'll ask me to save it again, so you always save it when you run it. Now you see restart, this means it's running a new program, and it's going to display the output in the shell here. And you can see the first print command showed hello, and the next print command showed the output world. So these are two separate outputs, and then the program ends again because there's no more lines of code beneath it. Hopefully you'll be able to pick up how programming works as we go along, and you'll see if I have some blank lines in between these print commands and run it, Save it. Okay. The program still runs correctly because when Python runs a program, it just goes through each line, checks if there's a command, and then does it if there is. So it has print hello, so it does that. Blank line, do nothing. Blank line, do nothing. Blank line, do nothing. Print world, and then it prints world, and then it sees there's just no more lines after that, and so it ends the program. And that concludes this first very simplified tutorial. Hopefully you've been able to follow this. If it's too simple for you, don't worry about it, just skip ahead to one of the future ones. If this is just about the right level to you, learning how to program for the first time, I hope you found it useful, and I will leave you with a task. I want you to try and make a program that outputs your favorite poem line by line. So just like I've output hello and world on separate lines, output each line of your poem as a separate output, and I'll be showing you how to do this in the start of the next tutorial if you get stuck at all. Alright, thanks for watching, and now for the throwback section. In this part of every video I show you a glimpse of an old video that I did and give you a bit of commentary on it. Hopefully some of you might find this interesting and you can go and check out some of the other videos on my channel. And the throwback video for this week is my first ever animation that I uploaded to this YouTube channel. Some of you might not know I've got animations on here, but back in the day I used to like fiddling around with plasticine and making some animations on the computer, and I put a few of them online. So this one is called Short Jelly Animation, and I made it in Blender. It's only 12 seconds long, but I was very happy with the way it turned out. I just first learned how to make jelly cubes in a 3D animation program, and this is the first animation I actually uploaded to my YouTube channel, even though later on I added some sort of longer ones that actually have plots to them. So click the link if you want to watch that, and heck, maybe even leave a comment on that old video. Otherwise, I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.